Hello everyone, my name is Salim and welcome to the Markets Breakdown Analysis for Friday the 17th of November 2023. We'll be breaking down charting through the exact zones where price will close for potential buys or close below for potential sells as well. So looking at the daily candle for Thursday, now the daily has been extremely bullish, breaking through this weak daily resistance formed on Wednesday and filling this rejection week to the upside. Looking at the weekly looks like we might see a strong weekly support formed around 1936,500. And now to break down the chart and looking at the daily will be closing bullish, forming daily support around 1960. And now to break down the chart and looking at the 4-hour time frame, what we can see here is we have the most recent 4-hour support formed around 1965,500. The most recent 4-hour resistance formed all the way up to, that's around 1984,900. Dropping down to the hourly time frame, and now we have a similar level of resistance. A level of support, we do have this potential hourly support to be formed, but I mean the candle's still open. Drop it down to the 5-minute time frame, and what we can see, we have this new range on the 5-minute time frame. Looking at the 15-minute time frame, we have a 50-minute support around 1980,400, and we have this 50-minute resistance around 1985,300. We have another 50-minute resistance, and when we measure this area, this is roughly around 27 pip range. And now to identify the no trades on, let's say potential buys, we could potentially wait for price to break and close. Since we have this 50-minute resistance, ideally is to wait for price to break and close above 1987,900, let's say 1988, meaning price will be breaking out of this range. And potential sells, what we could do, since this is we could wait for price to break and close below this hourly low, knowing we have clean traffic on the left on these 2 hourly candles. So potential sells will be below 1979. And this is going to be the no trade zone. And now to look for potential buys to start with. So going back to the daily, the first thing we can identify here is we have a daily resistance. So let's have a look on weekly. On a weekly, we have a weekly resistance formed recently around 2003,600. Drop it down to the daily time frame. We have a daily resistance around 1993,100. Drop it down to the 4-hour time frame. We have a 4-hour resistance. Looking at the hourly, and what we can see, let's have a look again. We have an hourly resistance, and then we have this hourly range. Probably we're going to stick to the high time frame at this point. So what I'm going to say is the first target for buys could potentially be 1993,200 targeting this daily resistance, which is also, let's say, a 4-hour resistance as well. The second target for buys, now what we can see here is we have a weekly resistance that we've identified around 2004. Drop it down to the daily, we have a daily rejection, and then this is a daily resistance as well. So this seems to be a rejection area. So let's have a look on the 4-hour time frame. On a 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour resistance around 2000. I'd probably have the second target for buys at 2000 targeting this 4-hour resistance. And now to look for potential sells. And the first thing we can identify here is we have this potential daily support to be formed around 1959,900. Drop it down to the 4-hour time frame, zooming in, and what we can see here is we have a 4-hour support around 1965,300, but this is a big range. And then we also can see this previous 4-hour resistance on the left around 1973,200. Drop it down to the hourly, previous hourly resistance, still clean traffic on the left. And then looking at the 30-minute, now we have a 30-minute support around 1971,600. Looking at the 50-minute time frame as well, we have a 50-minute support around 1971,700. So I'd say the first target for sells, we could target 1973,300 targeting this previous 4-hour resistance. The second target for sells, now looking at the daily, we have a daily support around 1960. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, we have a 4-hour support, a recent 4-hour support around 1965,300. Looking at the hourly, we have this previous 1-hour resistance around 1967,600. And as we can see, we have clean candle on the left here, but then obviously this is a messy range on the 5-minute time frame. I'd say the second target for sales could potentially be 1967,500, targeting this previous 1-hour resistance formed on the left.
markets, your trading sanctuary.